I was having lunch with my coworkers in Seattle when a notification popped up on my phone. I checked the security camera and my heart raced. My mother-in-law, Diana, was in my house, telling movers where to put her things. "This goes upstairs," she said, pointing to the master bedroom. "Be careful with that mirror. It's a family heirloom." She walked around like she owned the place, her fancy handbag swinging on her arm. "My name is Olivia, and I'm 34 years old. While I was away on a work trip, my mother-in-law was moving into my house. And the worst part, she didn't know I could see everything. Andrew needs his mother close by," she told the movers, rearranging my furniture. "This house is too big for just him and his wife. They're barely here anyway." I muted my phone, left the table, and stepped into a quiet corner of the restaurant. With shaking hands, I called my husband, Andrew, straight to voicemail. Back on the security feed, I saw Diana moving my things, replacing my photos with her own. Then she opened my closet and ran her fingers over my clothes. "These will need to go," she said. "I need space for my things." I had installed the security cameras for peace of mind while traveling. Now they were showing me exactly how far Diana was willing to go. She had never liked me. To her, I was just the career woman who stole her son. She wanted me out of the way. Then she made a phone call. "Darling," she said sweetly, "everything's going great. You were right. Olivia being away makes this much easier. We'll have everything settled before she gets back." I froze. Andrew knew. He had been the one pushing me to take this trip. Had he planned this? "The house needs a real woman's touch," Diana continued, placing an ugly vase on my table, "not someone who's always busy with work." I ended the video and texted Andrew, "Hope you're having a good day. Quick question. Why is your mother moving into our house?" Then I called my lawyer, Julia. She had helped me protect my home before when Diana tried to refinance it without my permission. "Julia, it's happening again. But this time, I have it all on video." "Send me everything," she said. "And don't let them know you're onto them yet. Let's see how far they'll go." Andrew finally texted back, "Mom's just storing some things. Don't make a big deal out of it." Storing things? I checked the cameras again. Diana was putting her fancy china in my kitchen, while my cookware was packed in boxes labeled "Donate." I texted Andrew again. Storing things doesn't mean boxing up my stuff and changing the whole house. His reply came fast. "You're overreacting. Mom's condo is being renovated. She needs a place to stay." I told her it was fine. I took a deep breath. Julia's words echoed in my mind. "Don't tip your hand yet." "How long is a while?" I asked. "We'll talk when you get back. She's just trying to help." Help. Right. Like when she tried to make Andrew sell the house so we could move closer to her. Or when she told people our house was too big for a couple without kids. On the camera, I saw movers bringing in a whole bedroom set. "This goes in the master bedroom," Diana said. "That furniture can go to the garage." My furniture, my bedroom. I sent the video to Julia and checked my calendar. I still had 3 more days in Seattle. But I decided to go home early. My phone buzzed again. "Andrew. Mom says the movers are almost done. She's excited to make the place more homey. Maybe this will help you want to spend more time there." I stared at the message, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. After 7 years together, 5 of them married, Andrew was still choosing his mother over me. But this time, I had proof. I replied with a simple and moved my meetings. I'd be home in 48 hours. Let Diana think she had all the time in the world to settle in. Let her believe she had one. Because this time, I wasn't just going to stop her. I was going to make sure she never tried this again. I sent one last message to Julia. "I'll be home tomorrow night. Get everything ready." It was time to show my mother-in-law whose house this really was. I arrived home at 9 p.m. the next evening, parking my car a block away and walking silently up to my own house. The lights were on, and through the window, I could see Diana lounging on an unfamiliar floral sofa where my modern sectional used to be. She was talking on the phone, gesturing animatedly. Instead of going in, I circled to the side of the house, opening my security app. Diana's voice came through clearly on the indoor cameras. "Yes, she texted Andrew about it, but don't worry. He handled it just like we discussed." She laughed. "You should have seen how fast the movers worked. All her modern furniture is in storage. Well, most of it's marked for donation actually. This house needs a proper family atmosphere." I switched cameras, watching her walk into my kitchen. now filled with her ornate china cabinets and vintage decor. Of course she'll be upset, but what can she do? Andrew's name is on the house too. If she makes a fuss, well, I've already spoken to my friend Margaret about a position for her in California. Much better career opportunity than what she has here. My hands clench into fists, so that's why Andrew had been pushing me to consider that job transfer. Another one of Diana's manipulations. Trust me, once everything's settled, she'll have no choice but to accept it. This house is far too big for someone who's never here. Andrew needs his mother, not some career-obsessed wife. Whoa. I'd heard enough. Time to make my entrance. The look on Diana's face when I walked through my front door was priceless. She froze mid-sentence, phone still pressed to her ear, face draining of color. I'll call you back, she stammered, ending her call. Olivia. What a surprise. We weren't expecting you until Friday. Clearly. I set my bag down, looking around at my transformed living room. You've been busy. She recovered quickly, smoothing her expensive blouse. Just helping to make the place more comfortable. Andrew agreed it needed a woman's touch. Interesting. I pulled out my phone, holding it up. Because I've been watching you move in all day yesterday, and I don't recall any discussion about donating my belongings. The color drained from her face as she realized what I meant. Her eyes darted to the small security camera in the corner, the one she hadn't noticed during her takeover. Those cameras are recording. Every minute, including your little phone conversations about forcing me to transfer to California. I smiled sweetly. Would you like to see the footage? She drew herself up, trying to regain control. This is Andrew's house too. He wants me here. Actually, I pulled an envelope from my bag. We should talk about that. But maybe we should wait for Andrew. He should be home soon, right? Diana's eyes narrowed. He's away on business until next week. No, he's not. I sat down in one of her antique chairs, making myself comfortable. I called his office this morning. Interesting how his business trip got canceled right when you decided to move in. Almost like it was planned. As if on cue, we heard a key in the lock. Andrew walked in, stopping short when he saw me. Olivia, you're home early. Surprise, I held up my phone, showing the security feed. Your mother and I were just discussing her renovation project. He looked between us, uncertainty crossing his face. Look, I can explain. Mom's condo is not being renovated. I cut him off. I checked. Just like I checked the storage facility where she's been sending my things. Just like I checked the donation center that has no record of any furniture donations, despite what your mother told the movers. Diana stepped forward, voice sharp. Now see here. No, you see here. I stood up, keeping my voice calm but firm. I've watched you try to take over my marriage for 5 years. I've watched you manipulate, scheme, and undermine me at every turn. But this, moving into my house while I'm away, disposing of my belongings, planning to force me into a transfer? I turned to Andrew. And you? Lying about business trips, helping her plan this behind my back. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? He had the grace to look ashamed. Mom said, she said you were never here anyway. That the house was too big for just us. That maybe if we had more family around. So you decided to let her move in without discussing it with me, your wife? Diana cut in. A wife who's never home. Who puts her career before family. Andrew needs to make a choice. I interrupted, opening the envelope I brought. Right now. I pulled out 2 sets of papers. Option 1. Diana moves out immediately. Everything goes back exactly as it was. We go to marriage counseling, and we set some real boundaries with family. I laid down the second set of papers. Option 2. Diana keeps the house. And you keep your mother. But you lose me. Andrew stared at the divorce papers, face pale. Olivia, you can't be serious. Oh, I am. And before you both start plotting, you should know, Julia has copies of everything. The security footage, the recordings of Diana's phone calls, documentation of every item removed from this house. One call from me, and it all becomes evidence in a very public divorce case. Diana's face had turned an interesting shade of purple. You wouldn't dare. Think of the scandal. Try me. I stood up, grabbing my bag. I'm going to a hotel. You have until tomorrow morning to decide and to get every single piece of furniture back where it belongs. If not, I gestured to the papers. As I walked to the door, I turned back one last time. Oh, and Diana, the cameras are still recording, just in case you get any more bright ideas. I left them standing there, Diana sputtering with rage and Andrew looking lost. For the first time since this began, I felt in control. Let them squirm overnight. Let them realize exactly who they were dealing with. Because one way or another, this power play would be Diana's last. I spent the night at the Marriott downtown, watching the security feeds on my phone. Diana and Andrew argued for hours after I left. She tried every manipulation tactic in her arsenal: tears, guilt, accusations. But something had shifted. For the first time, Andrew wasn't immediately jumping to defend her. Around midnight, my phone buzzed with a text from Andrew. "Can we talk? Please." I replied simply, "Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bring your decision." I barely slept that night, alternating between checking the security feeds and wondering if I pushed too hard. But watching Diana bark orders at the mover she called back to fix this mess reminded me exactly why I'd taken this stand. At 8:45 the next morning, I pulled up to our house. The moving truck was gone, and through the windows I could see my furniture back in place. It wasn't perfect. Diana's sense of decorating still lingered in a few spots, but it was a start. Andrew was waiting on the porch steps, alone. "Mom's gone," he said as I approached. "I drove her home last night." I nodded, unlocking the front door. The house smelled like furniture polish and Diana's overwhelming floral air freshener. But underneath that, it still felt like home. "I'm sorry," Andrew said, following me inside. "I know that's not enough, but I am. I should never have gone along with her plan." "No, you shouldn't have." I sat down on our restored couch. "The question is, why did you?" He sank into the chair across from me, looking exhausted. She has this way of making everything sound reasonable. She said you were always traveling, that the house was too empty, that having her here would make it feel more like a family home. And I guess I've never been good at saying no to her. I noticed. I pulled out my phone, showing him the recordings from yesterday. "Listen to how she talks about me, Andrew. About our marriage. She's been trying to push me out since day one, and you've let her." He watched the footage, wincing at Diana's words. "I didn't know she was planning to get rid of your things, or about the California job. You have to believe that." "I do," I said softly. "But that's almost worse. You were so busy trying to keep your mother happy that you didn't even question what she was doing to your wife." Tears formed in his eyes. "I don't want to lose you, Olivia. Please, tell me how to fix this." I pulled out a business card. "This is Dr. Matthews. She's a marriage counselor who specializes in family boundary issues. I made us an appointment for next week." Hope flickered across his face. "You're willing to try?" On 3 conditions, I held up my fingers. 1. Diana returns her key and never gets another one. 2. We set clear boundaries about visiting. No more surprise appearances, no more manipulating our schedules. 3. You commit to the counseling. Really commit. Because this is your last chance, Andrew. I love you, but I won't be your mother's doormat anymore." He nodded, reaching for my hand. "Anything. I choose you, Olivia. I should have chosen you all along." My phone buzzed. A text from Diana. "I hope you're happy. You've turned my own son against me. This isn't over." I showed it to Andrew. His jaw tightened as he read it. "Actually," he said, taking my phone, "it is over." He typed a response. "Mom, Olivia is my wife. Either you learn to respect that, or you won't be part of our lives. Your choice." He sent it before I could stop him. There. Should have done that years ago. Diana's response was immediate. A series of shocked emojis followed by a long paragraph about ungrateful children and manipulative wives. Andrew silenced the phone. "She'll calm down eventually," he said. "And if she doesn't, well, that's her choice." I leaned into him, feeling the tension of the past 2 days start to fade. "You know she's going to tell everyone how I cruelly threw her out and turned you against her." He laughed softly. "Let her. We have video evidence showing exactly what happened." Although he glanced at the security cameras, "Maybe we should upgrade the system. Just in case." "Already done." I smiled. Julia helped me install a few more cameras yesterday, including one watching the back door, Mom's favorite entrance for surprise visits. Andrew pulled me closer. "I really messed up, didn't I?" "Yes," I said honestly. "But you're fixing it. That's what matters." Over the next few weeks, we worked hard to rebuild our trust. The counseling sessions were tough but necessary, helping Andrew understand his mother's manipulation patterns and teaching us both how to set healthy boundaries. Diana tried a few more times to regain control, surprise visits, tearful phone calls, even a dramatic medical emergency that turned out to be a mild headache. But each time, Andrew stood firm. Our house slowly became our home again, free from Diana's influence. And every time I walk through the door, I smile at the small security camera in the corner, my silent guardian against any future power plays. Sometimes the best defense isn't just being prepared. It's being willing to stand your ground, even against family, especially against family.